All right, Scott, here we go, man. Let's check it out and see what we got going on today. Microsoft Flight Sim.
Okay.
See your house?
Yeah, that's funny, actually. I have seen my house from an airplane.
That's crazy.
I was about 3,500 feet in the air, and you can still see the house, no problem.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Gamescom 2021 Xbox stream.
We've got so many great game updates to share with you today. We're talking Age of Empires.
Seems to be the new spokesman, basically.
My personal favorite, Microsoft Flight Simulator.
I don't know if it's official.
Later on, we'll take an extended look at Forza Horizon 5. There's so much going into this.
I can't wait for Forza 5. Horizon, oh man, it's gonna be so cool.
And we'll be getting our first
I've never been to Mexico, but it seems like this is the next best thing, actually.
Will Kate win $5? I guess we're about to find out.
Yes, indeed. Our Xbox Plays team will also chat with devs and deep
Mortal Kombat 11, dude.
Upcoming games all week on twitch.tv.
Halo Master Chief Collection.
Let's get started.
That was yesterday.
And their upcoming zombie parkour sequel,
Really?
Dying Light 2: Stay Human.
Oh, Dying Light 2, yes. This is one that I did not know I wanted so badly.
Oh, I knew you wanted this one.
It would have been an easy bet.
Yeah, I think so.
We can't wait until December.
There's no Dead Island anymore. This is how it lives on.
Exactly.
Stay Human. The game we have been working on really hard for the last few years.
Hundreds of hours.
We're hoping the gameplay video you're about to watch will give you a foretaste of parkour and combat systems waiting
The
for you
parkour
in the
system in this has always been cool.
We are just about to enter the city.
It's a huge
fighting our way
standout for
through
sure.
its brutal and dangerous streets.
I never finished the first game now. I
got too creeped out.
Oh no, I don't blame you. As soon as night falls.
Oh, it's awful. Dude, I can handle the daytime, but yeah, night fell and I got spooked. I'm like,
I had real adrenaline as I was playing it, and it got to nightfall. It was just so frantic.
Probably like many others. People had their ambitions, plans, lives. Now it's all
I'm
gone.
not looking at the ads.
The virus started it, but it was the people who made the world the way it is. This city, Villador. They tell me they had a vision.
I'm hungry, that's
They
all.
had hope. But soon, one vision broke into many different ones.
they're fast too, man. Whoa.
Instead of fighting together, people stood against each other. War broke out.
Was it a little bird with a broken leg?
Hope died.
Oh, it's so, dude, look how big it looks.
Yeah.
Now the city is falling.
Just a giant cityscape like that.
Huge.
I don't recall it being that built up in the first game.
No.
But I can't let that happen. Woo. At least. I need the secrets the city holds.
Fuck! Hey! Still some rats here.
Huh?
I have to pick a side.
The bazaar needs good people.
You're doing great so far.
I have to make a difference.
So cool, man. Free running.
Let's check and see.
Birdman. One, two, three, go.
Change is a series of small gestures.
Ooh.
How about
Nice.
this
I like this
series?
carousel thing. That's great.
Wow. Oh, we got some superpowers going on there, man.
Yeah, this 15-foot vertical jump.
Is all really gone. We'll see about
This
that.
Is it the
Well,
same
that was
character
an
from the
exciting
first
trip,
game? He
wasn't it,
seems
Simon?
adept at this.
Did you notice those bandits in medieval-like armor fastened by skyscrapers, banks, and
Dude, that
large
looks cool.
billboards? That's what we call a modern Dark Ages.
And it's a very unique design, one very important for the plot of Dying Light 2. But there's another thing that stood out to me, all those parkour moves that you and your team has put so much effort into.
Well, all you need is a few thousand of animations, cooperation with professional tracers, mock-up sessions, and invaluable help from David Bell, whose face and moves player will see in the game, by the way.
No, yes, right. And we've got twice the number of parkour moves compared to the first game, and we are showing some of them in this trailer. The vault kicks being the most important to me personally. It brings a whole new fighting style into the game. The player can stagger an enemy and use them to perform further attacks, for example, by rebounding from their bodies, jumping off them onto other foes, and so on.
That's cool.
I think we captured the movement really well and made it quite simple for the players to perform. I can't wait for them to try it out and tell for themselves how much they loved it.
It's definitely going to be useful. The city's buildings are higher than anything we have done before, improving its verticality. Players will need to find a way to reach those tall skyscrapers and other challenging spots too.
Then it's good we scattered some helpers around, like a paraglider, which can support players in both parkouring and combat.
Exactly, and it's gonna do great, especially in fights against humans, which are more frequent and important than in Dying Light 1. It's been over 20 years since the events from the first game, so people adjusted. They are much bolder now, at least during the day.
And they are more vicious
The
too.
nighttime, dude, can't do it.
And I think that's a great summary of this discussion.
I remember being
Pre-order
very
Dying Light
impressed
2
with
and
the
explore
Nightfall
its
in the first
vast,
game.
complex world on December 7th.
There was a lot of changes, and
Thanks,
the
David.
intensity
Thank
gets
you.
dialed up to 11.
For the first time in the storied history of the franchise, Microsoft Flight Simulator launched on a home console with the release on Xbox Series X and S last month. Reviewers and gamers alike were blown away by how well the stunning visuals and the depth of the simulation translated to the console, and that's why I'm extremely honored to welcome the head of Microsoft Flight Simulator, York Newman, to the stream. York, thank you for being here. The last time we met was at the Xbox Game Showcase, and it was getting ready to come out on consoles. How did that go?
It went great. As you said, the reaction to the Xbox console launch was really just amazing. Both from Xbox gamers and from the press, they've been so gracious with their feedback. I don't know if you know, but Flight Simulator is one of the highest rated games on Xbox this year, which I think is just great validation that the translation
Well, it's a
of
tech
the
demo,
simulation
if nothing
to the
else.
console has
Yeah, for
really
sure.
worked well. Our usage numbers are through the roof. We are absolutely shattering franchise records, and I can tell you there have never been more people playing Flight Simulator than right now. So it's an awesome time.
That is awesome. Congratulations on the launch, really. But
All right.
I want to go to the danger zone. So what's going on with Top Gun?
There's so much going on.
I was really hoping he was going to
So
say,
you and I
goodness
talked about
gracious,
Top Gun
great balls of
Maverick.
fire.
Fans are super excited. They saw the F-18. They can't wait to start flying. And as you know, it comes out later this year as free DLC alongside the movie. But as the movie is still under wraps, so are we. So I can still not tell you that much about it. But there's so much else going on even before Maverick. So we are continuing to do our monthly big releases that we've been doing for a long time. And next month, on September 7th, we are launching World Update 6. And this world update, I mean, at the beginning of the show, if you remember, there was a little red plane flying into Cologne. Well, we did that because World Update 6 updates that region, the region of Gamescom. So Germany, Austria, and Switzerland. And what that means to us is we have new aerial and satellite images. We have a new elevation map that helps us with
Like the tech
mountains. So
behind
the
this
Alps
game is
actually look
incredible.
awesome now. We have new 3D
Oh,
cities
Germany,
like
Austria, and
Frankfurt
Switzerland.
Wuppertal
That's
in
going to
Germany,
be represented
Basel in
pretty well, I
Switzerland.
think, in
We have
massive
Vienna,
mountains and
Graz,
valleys.
Oh,
That'd be
man.
and,
quite a sight.
And those cities look just amazing. They have like 7
I want to
centimeters
download it to my
resolution-
Xbox, but I have to
and it's-
free up
it's
so
awesome.
much
But
space,
we want to
man.
celebrate the entire region.
Yeah.
So we picked
Yeah,
100
the
of
planetary
most scenic
scans take up
places,
a
the
lot.
most famous landmarks,
Yeah.
and we call those POIs. And we sort of
Look at that.
spread them throughout.
Yeah, look at those mountains. That's what I'm thinking.
Looks
That's
so
what I'm thinking.
good.
Switzerland.
Airports. We did
Whoa.
Lübeck and Stuttgart in Germany and Klagenfurt in Austria and St. Gallen in Switzerland.
Italy would be very
and what
impressive
ties it
too.
all together is missions. We're having new discovery flights. We have new landing challenges, and we have new sort of tours of the country. So they fly you around all the awesome looking places and really celebrate the beauty of this region of Earth. And this is a celebration of DACH, of Germany, Austria, and Switzerland. I'm so happy to be able to announce.
Now, can I fly into Area 51?
You know,
no.
That is really incredible, all the different regions and everything that you're going to have.
Or is continental America just not on the map yet?
Yeah, I think it's really cool. But you know, for us, it's actually not just the region and the visuals. We talked a lot when you study aviation, when you love aviation like we do. You actually realize that a lot of regions of Earth have a very special relationship with flying, with aviation. Sometimes it's, you know, the first experiments with aircraft, or a famous pilot, or a feat of aviation, or like a local manufacturer. So we thought to ourselves, why do we not use these world updates to celebrate the planes? So we are announcing a new series. We call them Local Legends. And think about that as planes that are locally well known, like in that region, but outside in the world, not so much. But why not use the world updates to highlight this, to bring these awesome machines to a world?
Can I fly the Avro Arrow?
So for World Update 6, we picked
the heck is
a
that?
German plane from the 1930s.
The Avro Arrow is one of Canada's greatest
in
contributions
Germany,
to aviation.
It's lovingly named
there you go.
Tante U.
But it was buried.
And
we sold the plans to America, and then it got
preservation.
buried.
So we really want to get these planes to an extreme level of detail. We're going out of our way to really go
Look at the rivets.
deep. So we're doing a full scan. We're taking a full scan of the outside
The
and
rivets.
the inside.
The leather is textured.
Which is as good as you can really do this. And then we're working with, for the Junkers, we work with Bernd Junkers, who is the grandson of the original creator of the plane, Hugo Junkers. And he's helping us. He had a ton of insight and materials. Then we worked with an organization that is preserving one of the last surviving examples of the Junkers. So they let us scan and take photographs. And then we were lucky that to find a pilot that actually flew one of those planes while it was still flying in the real world. And he lets us know, like, is the cockpit right and the sounds right? Does it feel right in the air? So we're having a blast working with these experts to really bring to celebrate this plane, to bring them back to life.
So this is almost like you're creating like a digital museum for aviation inside Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically that. Yeah. It's a museum with flyable planes. So we're working with 40 museums around the world. And it's honestly one of the funnest parts of the job. You end up working with these curators of planes. These are their babies.
He must love history, right?
Sort of
like there's got to be a piece of him in there that just kind of, this is so cool to see all this stuff.
And they're so happy when we come in with our scanning equipment and we're basically capturing their planes, and they know that we can digitally preserve them in perpetuity. And we're actually giving those scans back to the museum so they can do something with it. And it's a great collaboration. And we're actually not just looking back in the history of aviation, we're also looking towards the future. So I have another announcement. We are working with a fascinating German company called Volocopter. And they're making an eVTOL air taxi for urban traffic. So they have a vision of the future, how these drone-type machines basically connect people in large cities. We're working directly with the engineering team to make sure that we are capturing their plane and their aircraft perfectly in the flight simulator, and that's coming out in November.
I mean, you weren't kidding when you're saying that there's a lot going on inside of Microsoft Flight Simulator. Is there anything else you want to share?
Yeah, there's one more thing.
Yeah.
I'm so happy to announce that we've partnered with RARA. That's the Reno Air Racing Association. And every year they put on something called the Steel National Championship Air Race. And we're bringing this to Flight Simulator. So this is the fastest motorsport. This is right down your alley. It's the fastest motorsport on Earth. And I actually brought you a little trailer to look at.
So race, speed.
I've heard of the Red Bull races.
Zone,
I've seen a bit of the footage of that. It's intense. That'd be really fun to play if it's anything similar.
Captured in real-time 4K.
You know I like going fast, and you know I love being in the danger zone. When is this coming out?
Man, these planes, they fly 500 miles, faster than 500 miles an hour, 50 to 250 feet above the ground. So you are definitely going to be in the danger zone. I mean, without going into too much detail, this Reno Air Race is actually the largest expansion we have since we launched on Flight Simulator. It's not just because we scanned all the famous race planes of the world. There's lots of them. This is also the first time when you can basically race against your friends and pilots across the planet.
It's almost like Forza Horizon.
A competitive multiplayer is coming to
actually,
Microsoft
I see
Flight
that.
Simulator.
Right?
That connection.
And
this is
that will definitely test your pilot skills. And you ask, when is it coming out? This is coming out this fall, so it's right around the corner.
I want to use my HOTAS, the flight stick.
Yeah.
So I
And
can't
then
wait to
race.
get my hands on this and participate in some of these air races.
Awesome, man. We got you covered.
All right, thank you. If going fast on the ground is more your speed, keep an eye out for an extended look at Forza Horizon 5 later on in the stream. We'll also talk with Wasteland 3's game director about the game's next big DLC. But first,
Cool.
if you're an Xbox Game Pass subscriber, we have some great news for you.
Here we go, buddy. You knew they're gonna push Game Pass today,
Yeah.
right?
I like the graphical style of what I saw there. This like high-res pixelated. Arch fail.
Yeah. Next what? Next Space
It's got a
Rebels.
Zelda Binding of Isaac feel to the combat. That looks cool.
Midnight Club. Express. Oh man, I'm trying to write it all down. It's not gonna happen, buddy.
No, it's moving quickly. Dodgeball Academia. Okay, that one's out. I didn't look too far into it. Bushiden. Oh man, that looks cool.
Flynn, son of.
Son of Crimson. Unpacking. That'd be funny. I saw the box, and you know what I thought of? Signalis?
Yeah, I saw that. Unsighted? Unsighted. Yeah, that took me a little bit too. I was like,
I
what?
was trying to make sense of that.
Chinatown Detective Agency? Dude, I'm running. I got to flip the page already.
Yep, somehow they did it. They added even more games to Game Pass. But let's talk about what's coming up. We're talking Age of Empires 4, the game's creative director. And we're going to see what's next for Sea of Thieves. But now...
Dude, what are you next for Sea of Thieves?
I've been playing a lot of Age 3.
I know you have. I've seen
Age 4. I'm excited.
Let's dive into the pit.
Into the pit. What is this?
Oh. Looks like you might be skipping this one.
I'm out.
I'm liking the looks of this. A Cult of Victorian era stuff. With machine gun hands.
Yeah, look at those bullets fly out of his fingers.
This is what my hand feels like for the last year.
Oh man, you can play this one, Scott, for the show.
Oh, gladly. This is giving me the Doom Quake feel.
I instantly went to Doom. Into the pit.
Oh, this squishy sounds.
October 19th,
nice.
Day 1 in Game Pass.
Nice. Am I ever going to get through my backlog? Is there ever going to be enough time to play these games?
With creative director of World's Edge, Adam.
I don't think it's humanly possible.
I'm so excited to talk Age 4, of course, because you've brought something a little different and very special today.
Yeah, I have. So, so far we've been showing everyone kind of what Age looks like from in the game, when you're playing it. You've gotten to see a lot of footage of that, and we've also shown a little bit of our campaigns, right, through when we unveiled the 100 Years' War and showed Joan of Arc. But we have yet another way in Age of Empires 4 that we're kind of bringing history to life that we haven't talked about yet.
See, you do this to me. You put me in suspense. I want to know more, so let's go with it. Let's hear more.
Okay, wait, you get 1 moment of suspense. Okay, that's enough. So what we brought today is we have these wonderful little videos that we've created that are interspersed amongst the campaign, and they're about 3 to 5 minutes each. And we have over an hour of them total, and they're called Hands-on Histories. And what they are is a great way to deep dive on certain fun subjects from the cultures we're representing and just from medieval history.
Excellent. Well, I hear you've actually brought one of those segments that you're going to share here for the very first time.
Yes, I have. We are going to show you the segment on one of the most popular units from Age of Empires franchise and a fan favorite, the Trebuchet.
Excellent. Well, this I got to see. Let's take a look.
A counterweight trebuchet was the king of all siege engines. A catapult capable
And just think about back in the day, this is what they had to work with.
Yeah. Oh, it would have been absolutely obliterating.
At Warwick Castle in England, they've built
And
a
no
replica,
gunpowder. It's
one
almost
of the
silent.
largest in the world. Originating in 7th century China, by the 13th century, trebuchets had evolved into devastatingly powerful weapons.
Such a simple design, but so effective.
It has several key features. A pivoted arm with a weight at one end, and a sling to hold the projectile at the other.
Look at the size of that thing.
To prime, the 6-ton weight is raised using.
It reminds me of the Gustav.
So this is
which
one of the wheels.
Germany's
one
giant
of two that's
train gun.
attached to an axle, which would lift the counterweight, weighing 6 tons. It's based on muscle power alone.
What?
What's essential about launching a projectile as far as possible is making sure that this end of the arm is moving as fast as possible. So once that weight drops, it really sends this point of the arm moving at its highest velocity.
This was done by positioning the pivot close to the counterweight and by launching the projectile from a sling. When released, the sling whips round, vastly increasing the launch speed. Trebuchets were carefully aimed, like modern guns.
In order to weaken the castle walls or even breach them, you had to make sure that the projectiles hit the same spot every single time.
For each projectile to follow the same trajectory, they all had to be the same weight and shape.
They're doing this in the 8th century. That's
Masons
insane.
used a gauge.
Nuts, eh?
We're obviously, we got here somewhere, but
into the sling.
to see something that's ancient
This one must
like
weigh
this.
about 25 kilograms, but some projectiles can get up to 150 kilograms. That's the weight of 2 men.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm 50 kilograms.
Trebuchets were also used to throw burning tar, beehives,
How far would that launch a
even
man?
dead bodies. Anything to cause maximum distress to the enemy.
Did you hear that whoosh?
It was the counterweight trebuchet's lethal combination of power and accuracy that made it the ultimate medieval siege weapon.
You know I'm going to say trebuchet. Don't care, because that is awesome and remarkably unique, something you don't see in games very often.
Yeah, so, one of the things when we were looking at what we were going to do with Age of Empires 4, there's a phrase I'm really fond of, which is, history is only as interesting as the people who taught it to you. And you could say that about any subject, really, right? But I think the great thing is when you have someone that's so enthusiastic and passionate about history, it really comes across. And we wanted to be that kind of teacher for history. And there's a phrase called humanized history that I use to kind of describe what we tried to do, which is we tried to like connect past and present. And you can see that kind of in our briefings as well, where we've got like real stuff with like CG kind of overlaid to show you the history. And so for these, we really wanted to do that same thing. So ourselves and Relic partnered with this amazing group in the UK called Lion TV, and they've done production on an amazing amount of shows and documentaries for the BBC and won every award you can imagine for media. And they travel to all of these locations in all these different countries to meet with these subject matter experts and get all of this great footage on how things really worked and how things were made. And it's been delightful to kind of go through that process and, you know, get all these and finally start showing them to everyone.
I love it. Now, you also, of course, you've got a bunch, as you mentioned, of these hands-on history segments. Anything else that you can tell us fans about what we can expect, looking forward to? Any favorites you got coming up?
Oh, well, favorites. Oh, man. Well, I think my personal favorite is one called Medieval Surgery. Okay. And I'm going to let your imagination go with what we might show and what we might talk about in that one.
Yeah.
But the thing I love about them is that they go all over the place. So, you know, we've got ones on warfare and castle building and like how they kept flaming arrows from not going out when she shot them. And so.
Whoa, what happened? Uh-oh. Everybody in the chat is like, "What? No! Oh no! All right, we're gonna hang tight here.
Seems like it's not 2 hours.
The show is over, everybody. Man, that's unfortunate.
It was interesting watching their videos, though. Just being a video editor, you can see all the cuts.
Yeah.
I think they did it well, but it's just something I pick up on nowadays.
What do you think of watching the whole trebuchet thing? Like, is this something you're interested in within the actual game itself?
Yeah, I'm not sure if their emphasis is renewed or more intense with this game versus last ones, because I've only ever played 2 and 3.
Right.
But just to see that they have that historical interest in it, that everything is through that lens, I think is a really good idea. I think that's cool. I'm getting more excited for this the more I see about it. The first initial reveals just kind of looked like the same old Age, which is good to know, but it just wasn't terribly refreshing.
That's stuck waiting now, buddy. I'm like, oh, there we go. We're back.
You know, October 28th, we are launching the game. You can go to ageofempires.com to learn more about the title. And if you're really, really excited, right now, you can go onto the Microsoft Store or Steam, pre-order the game right now. And of course, we will be there day one, Xbox Game Pass for PC as well. So anyone
that's exciting.
Grab the game and start playing.
Xbox Game Pass, yeah, PC.
I got to convince my brother to get Game Pass on PC.
Yes, so Gamescom opening night live.
October's looking loaded already.
8 Pacific time.
Dude, September, October is gonna be nuts.
It never ends.
Yeah.
A bit of a tease from Mr. Ice.
Even if you and I split every new game that comes out, we do it 50-50. I don't know if there's enough hours in our lives left.
Not at all.
Neither should you. Now, we have tons coming up here today, including a new update for State of Decay 2 and an extended look at
State of Decay 2?
I
don't know about 3. Where's 3? Fool, you burned me on that one. Come on.
Is Decay 2 like 5 years old now?
Dude, it's old.
That's right, Kate. Xbox
But it's
Cloud
so
Gaming
cool.
is already
I like that a
available
lot.
on Windows PCs, mobile phones, and tablets. And now, it's coming to Xbox consoles. The future with cloud gaming sounds bright. No waiting to install, no running out of hard drive space, no waiting to patch.
Like I am right now, you mean?
Buying a new console.
Yeah, if only they didn't sell me one
how
with
the
10
vision of cloud
gigabytes.
gaming will bring people together without barriers.
I'm exaggerating, but it feels like 10.
I know.
So when I think about cloud and when I think about gaming, those two things together to me really show you the future, where you can
Cloud
pick
Strife.
up something and you could play it anywhere and you could do it quickly.
Nice.
Cloud gaming is phenomenal.
This is pretty great. I mean, that's pretty awesome.
This actually looks so good.
Games
Hey, we
are
played that
large
one.
and you want to keep the ones that you know you love on your hard drive. Xbox Cloud Gaming is about being able to discover the new ones right away. It's super exciting that for our Game Pass Ultimate members, they will get to experience Xbox Cloud Gaming on whatever console they have.
Cloud gaming is really about looking at how people play differently. I know me in particular, sometimes I just have 20 minutes.
It should be as easy as finding the game that you look for on your console and just jumping right in.
Oh, dude, you see how easy that was?
Yeah.
What's crazy about this is like the latency. This is the kind of stuff you need.
Fingers crossed it's working better than PlayStation now.
Oh man, dude, like Stadia's in trouble.
To get into cloud gaming.
I'm just saying.
Console, right?
Yeah, what are they?
The game you want, you press
How are they
play.
gonna persist? Are they gonna come out with a console next? That would break the whole point.
Oh man, dude, I love Stadia though.
If my friends have titles that I don't have yet, I can just wait for them to send me an invite. It makes content
Well, even if
just
they
so
do
much more
disappear, they've
accessible.
undoubtedly made waves in the industry.
really love
They-
that
Everybody's
flexibility.
kind of
It's
had their own project in the works,
Everything
and
that
now
Xbox is doing right now
it's
is
coming to
just getting
fruition.
rid of the limits
Yeah.
of having
I'm
to
still
be
gonna
on a
call it
specific
xCloud.
platform or a specific
Yeah, me too,
console,
dude,
on PC
absolutely.
and mobile, and now on Gen 8.
Yeah, Gen 8 consoles can play Gen 9 content. Isn't that so cool?
With cloud gaming, we have the ability, because you are connecting to consoles that are in our data centers, to allow the Gen 8 customers, the Xbox One customers, to play games that their hardware wouldn't have been able to play without it.
There's
Xbox
so much
One
opportunity
can
when it comes to
play
thinking
next-gen
about how we can make
consoles on the
content
cloud.
more readily available and let people play where they want to.
Definitely a step
Sign me
forward,
up. I'm
just
ready
in
for cloud gaming
general.
right now. Let's do it.
But
When's the release
you
date?
know,
When does it
I
release?
would prefer more Generation 9 releases.
Yeah,
Give me some explicitly next-gen games.
I hear you, dude. Oh, that looks so easy.
August 9th saw the release of the free optimized update for Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice on the Xbox Series S and X. With beautiful and rich visuals, thanks to the addition of ray tracing and improved materials alongside
You ever play
performance
Hellblade?
updates, this is the perfect
Only a
opportunity
very
to
small
relive
amount.
Senua's journey or experience it for the first time. And if you haven't played this, do yourself a favor, grab a pair of headphones and immerse yourself into this world.
Agreed. Speaking of unique experiences on Game Pass, the Xbox Plays team will be taking a look at some ID at Xbox titles over the next few days, including 12 Minutes and The Big Con.
They're also talking with developers from Halo, the Master Chief Collection, Forza Horizon 5, and Destiny 2. So join the live Q&A to get your burning questions answered. You can catch all of those streams on twitch.tv/Xbox.
Speaking of Forza Horizon 5, don't forget our friends at Playground Games will give us an extended look at their monument to motoring in Mexico later on.
That includes never-before-seen areas of the game map, plus cars that have never been in the Forza franchise before. I've loved everything I've seen of Forza Horizon 5 so far, and I can't wait. Now, Kate, there's more games to check out, right?
Well, right you are, Paris. Let's talk
What is
Wasteland
this?
3. Their newest DLC introduces us to a new cult. The Cult of the Holy Detonation.
I have not gotten into Wasteland games.
Dude,
I heard
it's
they're
cool.
good, especially if you
Oh,
like
so
XCOM.
good. Yeah, no, they're fantastic. Wasteland 3, Corey and I checked out a preview of the game. It was so good. And then the actual release of the game came out, and we were on like 10 different things.
Yeah, that's how it is.
It sucked because I really wanted to play it. I was like, oh man, but it's big. Like, it is a huge game.
Life-giving glow should be shared with everyone. May the light of the holy detonation purify you. Join us, Rangers.
It reminds me of the Cult of Adam from Fallout.
Ah.
After the nukes fell, there was a lot of religions that came up about it.
With new patches, bug fixes, and added features, like fine wine, Wasteland 3 just gets better with age. To really savor the game's bouquet, we're talking with inXile game director David Rogers. David, thank you for joining us.
I'm super stoked to be here. Thanks.
So in the trailer, we saw that the DLC is coming out on October 5th, but we know, In Exile, Wasteland 3, you guys have been working on this for a very long time. So can you kind of talk about that journey?
Yeah, our dev team has been working nonstop full tilt, trying to make Wasteland 3 the best version of itself it could be. Over the past year since it's released, we've added features, we've balanced, we've listened to the community, we've fixed bugs, added stability, and I really think that the version that we have now is the absolute best version of the game, and if you've never played it before, now's an awesome time to jump in.
There you go, Scott. Time to jump in, buddy.
Congratulations on everything that you've been doing with Wasteland 3. Now, this DLC is called The Cult of the Holy Detonation. Now, talk about that a little bit. Tell me what's going to go into this DLC. What should we be excited about?
Right, so you've heard of Cheyenne Mountain, right?
Yes.
For those who haven't, Cheyenne Mountain is this top secret military complex buried deep in the heart of Cheyenne Mountain in the middle of Colorado. It's designed to outlast a nuclear winter.
Setting for
and so
Stargate
when you hit
SG-1.
level 16, an old friend calls
That's
you
how I
and
know.
says, hey, I need your help securing this secret military base and all the secrets within. And as soon as you get there, you find 2 warring cults battling over supremacy, trying to take control of the
If
Holy
there's a
Detonation,
Stargate in the
which
level
is this
somewhere, I'll
pre-war
lose
science
my mind.
experiment that they worship as a god. And these cultists are insane, they're mutated.
That's
they've
my
gone
Star Trek.
totally mad,
I enjoy
and,
Star Trek, but
all they want to do
Stargate
is
is
share
the
the
one
holy
for me.
radiation with
Gotcha.
you and your
I never got
entire
into any of
Ranger
that
team.
stuff.
How generous.
No, eh?
That sounds
No.
a lot cooler than some of the
Not at
cults
all.
I may have joined
Well,
in
there's
the past. But
constant debate
this
is
is
Star
typical
Wars or
Wasteland
Star Trek,
fashion. We're
but
really gonna
the
be able to
true
mix it up,
star
Right,
is
right.
Gate.
So you and your Ranger team insert yourself right smack dab in the middle of their holy war, which, what could go wrong?
Yeah.
And this is a Wasteland game, so you decide everything. Choice and consequence is our bread and butter. And so you decide who lives, who dies, who gets screwed over, who
It's
takes
so cool.
charge. You're deciding the fate of
I
the
love
cults,
games like that.
the Holy Detonation, Cheyenne Mountain, and ultimately all of Colorado. This is really your game to craft and mold.
That's awesome. So the last expansion was the Battle of Steeltown, right? You had giant robots and things like that. So, what are you going to do to actually top something like that from the last expansion?
Right. So we wanted returning players to find something that they could never find in another version or in previous versions of Wasteland 3. And so we built this as a Wasteland style dungeon crawl. And in there you find this awesome mix of mystery, exploration. You're meeting these crazy cultists who have been locked in this pre-war time capsule, and some of the raddest boss battles we have ever been able to build in a Wasteland game.
That's awesome. I want to get back to the crazy cultists, but talk to me about these big boss battles. I want to hear more about that.
Right. So we took the best parts of Wasteland combat and we breathed new life into it with objective-based combat, which are basically super rad boss battles. It's no longer you're huddling in a corner, throwing down turrets, just going on murderous rampages. It's not about killing, it's about getting the job done. And so now combat doesn't end until the mission is over. We send you on proper combat missions. You're in there breaking into prisons, rescuing POWs. You're disrupting these high-tech cultist rituals. You are splitting your fire team and coordinating like you never have had to before. Everyone on your team has a job, and I really think this is going to take
What do you think,
old players
Scott?
who know their
Cool.
Ranger team like the back of their hands.
It's
and gonna
looking
make them scratch
interesting,
their head
yeah.
And really have to rethink
If
how
I'm
they
going to go
about
back to
combat and making
XCOM
it
2 or
new,
this one, I
exciting,
think
and
Wasteland
challenging,
3 is
you know,
actually the choice to
mentally
make.
in a way we haven't been able
Yeah,
to
it's definitely worth
really
checking
do
out if you
before
haven't
with
played
just
it yet.
straight up murder combat.
Now, Wasteland has a reputation for getting a little silly.
Right.
What are some of the weird characters we can expect in some of the story encounters we'll see in the game?
Yeah, with Cult of the Holy Detonation, we really got to cut our devs loose and just let them be creative and fun and silly. In Exile's modus operandi is if we're brainstorming and something makes us laugh, we just put it in the game. That's just how we do it, and we pick up the pieces afterwards. Because we want to make something that entertains us, and then we know
That's
if
cool.
we're having fun.
They would
our fans
never
are gonna
release
have fun
something if
along
I was
with
in the
us.
room.
And
I'd just
so we got to
keep the
explore
bad
really
takes
letting you
and
get
silly
deep
ideas
into this
going.
weird radiation cult and let you interact with them and talk with them and tell stories and maybe even join them.
Yeah.
And so for instance, one of the characters you meet, one of the first cultists you meet, is this slathering beast. He's got claws and fangs and spikes jutting out, and he's drooling, but he's the nicest guy in Cheyenne Mountain. You meet him and he's like, hey guys, you should come in here and soak up some of these rads. It'll be great. Yeah. And he Sherpas you in and lets you meet the whole cult. And another one of my favorites is the Proteus. He's what you get if
Seriously, look at the characters,
if you took,
dude.
Like 20 cultists and you like melted them into a big pile. Kind of like I would do this with like a magnifying glass. I would like melt like army guys and like GI Joes into a big pile. And he's wet and sloppy and gross and he's hard to understand and he needs a translator supposedly. But he's like your #1 fan. And getting to build like this totally out there wild extreme character was a ton of fun to run for. It was a ton of fun to like explore. Like
what an abomination!
And he's an absolute blast. Hell, even some of the weapons
got a
that you
stomach
find
mouth.
in Cheyenne Mountain,
Pretty much.
they're devolved cultists. Like there's one guy and he kind of devolved into this like vomiting bagpipe creature, and he has this real like kill me vibe about him. But we get to play with these fun body horror themes that let us jackknife between sort of like dark and serious and like goofy and funny, which is a line that Wasteland really loves to ride. Like, you know, a lot of really important stuff is at stake, but you know, it's the Wasteland.
Don't take it too seriously.
Oh, I can imagine. Now, we talked before, you've been working on Wasteland 3 for a while. There's already expansions that are out there. But say I'm a new player. Say I'm watching this right now and I'm like, man, I want to get into Wasteland 3.
Here you go, Scott. This is for you.
What would you suggest for new players wanting to get into this?
And like I said at the top, like Wasteland is like the best version of itself right now because of all the work we put into it over the past year. And so you can get the whole thing with the Colorado collection. That's the base game plus Cult of the Holy Detonation and Battle of Steeltown, all for a discount. Or if you have Game Pass, you already have Wasteland 3. Just download it and play it, and then you can get both expansions with the expansion pass.
That is awesome. Now, to kind of recap this a little bit, we've talked about, you know, spewing pus bags and these weird characters and the cults and the boss battles and all these really cool things that are going to be in Wasteland 3. But please remind everyone before we get out of here, when can you pick up this DLC?
Right, this Work of Passion, it comes out on October 5th. And we're really stoked.
That is awesome. So this is the Cult of the Holy
You try it, Scott?
Of the Holy
Detonation coming October 5th.
I'm very curious.
Thank you
I'm
so
going to
much
have
for
to
joining
check it
us.
out.
Thanks, Barry.
If it's got a good personality, you know, about
in the 3 years since
I can feel that through it, then that's the kind of thing that'll
to
hook
some
me for sure.
incredible crossovers, including unique ship sets inspired by games
I
like
want it to be
Battletoads,
something new
State of Decay,
instead of
Halo,
XCOM.
and more.
Yeah.
Today, we're excited to announce a brand new special event that will award players an all-new ship as a part of the latest Wild crossover heading to Sea of Thieves. Better yet, this event begins tomorrow. So get ready to make some mayhem and let's get our first look at this very special ship.
Is that Borderlands?
Is it really? It is. Dude,
yeah.
it is. What? Huh.
Guten Tag, everyone. Really cool to be a part of this all-digital Gamescom event. And we were thinking, what's the best way to kind of celebrate Gamescom and to be a part of this as Sea of Thieves? And so we're really excited to reveal that we're bringing the Mayhem ship set that you've just seen, a really, really cool ship that's inspired by Borderlands, into Sea of Thieves, and we're giving all of our players a chance to earn it during kind of the Gamescom time period. So it's been really cool to work with Borderlands
rockets
team
that
to bring
heal?
this ship to life and giving all of our players the chance to earn it as part of this live event that we've cunningly titled Mayhem. You might notice the link. So you can probably guess the kind of activities that are involved, but if you head to Larina at any of the outposts in the Sea of Thieves world, she'll be able to fill you in on the details of what you need to go do to earn the ship set. So we hope everybody gets a chance to take part in this awesome time-limited event. So it starts today, and it runs through to September the 7th. So that's the time period you've got to get your hands on the Mayhem ship set. And I think that's it from me. So as always, I will see you on the seas.
Hope. It's always been a dangerous world in Trumbull Valley. But now, it's hope that brings us back together.
State of Decay 2. Man, so
It
weird.
reunites old friends. It builds new bonds. And in the face of a growing threat,
I think I've only played number 1.
Oh man, 2 is so good.
the weapon we have.
Yeah, I think they upped the combat and stuff.
Oh, big time.
And driving a car through the groups, I remember that.
What's a new map?
Welcome back to Trumbull
Homecoming.
Valley.
September 1st.
I want to see new zombie variants, you know? I'm tired of tank, boomer,
And
and
just like zombies themselves, it seems
Play
like
Back for Blood.
assassin one.
too. And we have a guest to walk us through this
Just
undead update. Please join me in welcoming
throwing it out
Undead
there,
Lab's
Scott.
Director of Communications.
Yeah, even they have smokers, tanks, and chargers.
Yeah, they do.
Here, talk about
It's all just
Homecoming
a clone
update
of-
releasing
I
on
think
September
Left 4 Dead
1st.
did it first.
We are very excited to get this into players' hands.
You are indeed. So let's talk about the Homecoming update. Obviously, we are coming back to Trumbull Valley. We were there for Heartland, the update, back in 2019. Talk to me about the differences, and I'll sit right here and listen because you're adorable.
So Heartland is the story mode within the game, but it's a very linear, narrative-driven experience. You know, players couldn't move their communities there. So that's all changed with the Trumbull Valley map. It is the 5th core open world map. It's fully remastered, and it expands into 2 territories that were completely inaccessible in Heartland. So players can return to Trumbull Valley with their communities, start new communities there, and really start exploring everything that the new map has to offer.
So then, would Homecoming be a sequel then to Heartland?
Yeah, exactly right. So the events in Heartland kind of play out. You see what happens in Trumbull Valley. So we think of it as the 3rd part of our Trumbull saga that began with the original State of Decay game, continued into Heartland, and now we see what has happened since then and what storylines might be coming to a close. So there is a lot
I never went
for
back into
players to
Heartland.
discover, a lot of environmental storytelling to find.
It's a
And,
co-op
you know,
game,
things
dude. You
have
gotta play it
changed.
with
So
people,
this
right? That's the
isn't
thing. If you're
Trumbull
playing this by
Valley
yourself,
that
yeah,
you
you
might
can do it
remember.
and have a
That's
good
really
time, but it's
exciting.
really
Interesting.
meant
Well,
to
and
be
anytime you
played with
expand
others.
something like Trumbull Valley, you just have to have a juggernaut of content. Pun
Scott, I feel
intended.
like
Talk
a
to me little bit
revisit is
about
coming
what
for the
some
show.
of those things are that players can get in on here now in the expanded
Oh, this
Trumbull
would be a
Valley.
good time with some
ton of new
DLC.
content.
Check
In
it
fact,
out.
we're
Why
doing
not?
something unique with the Trumbull Valley map. There are items there that you can only find on that map and nowhere else in the game, including 12 new hats and outfits, 10 new very cool weapons. We've got 6 new bases, 2 new achievements for achievement hunters. And on top of that, we are adding the game's 12th bounty pack.
I want
that will be
Xbox to
available,
adjust their
from the
achievement
bounty broker
system.
across all maps, and I have to say they are
Oh.
some of the coolest
How
items
so?
I have
I want
ever
it
seen go into the
tiered.
game.
I
I'm
am
so
a
excited for
big
people to
fan
find
of
them.
the trophy system on PlayStation. When you get that platinum trophy, you know you've mastered everything in there, and you've got the top of it all. And then you get that special little chime. Dude, all you get is 100% in the achievements.
How has that impacted the community?
Yeah.
How has that impacted the game? Talk to me about it.
It's been fantastic.
You know the
We have an
PlayStation
amazing
trophy
community.
system
We
is a
love them so
copy
much.
clone
In
of
fact,
achievements.
one of the reasons
But
we're
done
doing
better
Trumbull
because
Valley
of the
as a map
platinum
is 'cause it
system.
was one of the most requested features from the community, which also
I
makes
like it.
very exciting.
I'm a
for
Yeah,
big
you
fan
like
of
putting
it.
your trophies in your Sony home, your PlayStation home.
Rest in peace.
Has 10 million
Just there's
lifetime
certain
players.
tiers, right? You got your platinum, your gold, your silver, and your bronze.
Hang your
When
hat
you look at
on that.
achievements,
I
dude, they're just a
absolutely love
list
that.
of
It
things
is
to go
beautiful.
accomplish, right? Which is
Incredible,
cool.
amazing news.
But
Congratulations to you and the entire team. at
there's that
Undead
gamer
Labs.
score that helps boost you
Fantastic
up.
work.
It's just
Well, speaking of
want something
Xbox
a little.
Game Pass, let's give me the details.
Dude,
Maybe
it's been
it's
like
because
this
I'm
for
approaching a
Well,
quarter
the update
million.
releases
Maybe,
September
right?
1st.
But they
It's
should
free
get.
update for all State of Decay 2
Dude, it's been
owners
so
and
long.
secured
It's
with
always been
Xbox
the
Game
same,
Pass.
right? They haven't really advanced anything
homecoming.
with their achievement system whatsoever
Thank you, Wonder,
since
very
it
much.
originally
My pleasure.
launched practically.
Now
Well,
we
they've
move
added
from Trumbull
PC
Valley
support
to the
for a lot of
Lost
games
Valley
and stuff
Priya.
because of Game
This
Pass,
mystical
but
location
that's
trades
But they
zombies,
haven't-
really just
ancient
because of
warrior
Game Pass.
clans,
Yeah, they
forgotten
haven't changed the
temples of
formula
long-dead
at all.
god kings, and a healthy dose of hack and slash.
I want them to
No,
change the
but
formula.
how do you? Unless a hand
I
comes
don't
out and pats you on the head. Here's your trophy.
I'm up for that. Point blank. Stray Blade. Dude, what is this?
Lords of the Fallen 2? That's what it looks like. Not that that's bad. Have you played Dark Souls?
Coming 2022.
It's
that was
Stray
cool.
Blade
All right.
to discover the mystical lost valley of Akria, a world which ranges from overgrown temple ruins to frozen caves and winding canyons. A game world that changes based on your victories and plenty of dudes to stab in blade-to-blade combat. If that weren't
Cool.
enough, you even get a fuzzy little pal to help you out.
I like
Between
it.
epic fights and this
Dude.
small guy, there's clearly a lot going on here. So let's hear more from Point Blank Games about Stray Blade.
Hello everybody.
That little guy reminds me of
Point Blank Games, and today I will show you Stray Blade.
I'm struggling to remember the name. The one where you're a mouse, but it's a stealth game.
Stray Blade is an
Moss?
action RPG where you play a rogue adventurer
No,
who's
no.
exploring the ancient valley
Dude,
of
you're a
Akria
mouse?
with his
Tales of
companion,
something?
a witty wolf named Boji. Unveil the
Is that
history
the
of
rat game we played not too long
forgotten
ago?
powers of the
Like
three
last-
Yeah, you did a review
Yeah.
on it maybe a year ago. But
Yeah. Oh, dude, I don't remember what it's called either. That game was cool though.
As well as the word.
Oh, this guy
Combat
looks kind of like a
exploration are the
wombat.
two key elements of our game. Let's dive into the combat first. Our combat system merges strategic anticipation of enemy attacks with
That's the
split-second
crossover I can't
back-to-back
wait for.
reactions.
In another
It is the
decade,
high noon
when
of single-based
Nintendo and
combat.
Xbox and PlayStation
To
start
achieve that,
trading
we'll put our hearts
IPs.
into
Oh, can you
creating
imagine?
fluid, well-readable animations and epic cinematic finishes.
When I could play
You can choose
Uncharted
from
with
multiple weapon
actually
categories that
Lara
can be combined
Croft.
to fit you best. Now, let's take a look at the exploration. Akria's colorful world ranges from overgrown city ruins
Dude,
to
I like
frozen
it.
caves and winding canyons. Together with your companion, explore the deepest corners of an ever-changing world, bristling with
Not
adventure.
so serious
Every
graphical wise,
discovery
but
holds
it doesn't
treasure.
look bad at all.
Find rare materials,
Yeah,
recipes,
just stylized, right?
weapons,
It's kind of, you got that
pieces,
Fortnite
beautiful
aesthetic
places.
to it.
Change is
Yeah,
part
I
of
was
the
gonna
journey,
say kind of
where every
Dauntless
victory
a
impacts
little
the
bit.
Yeah,
world around
yeah,
you.
With
absolutely.
maybe more
Time
detail.
keeps moving forward. Enemy skills stay dead. New foes invade camps that you weakened. And when Boji revives you, only one thing is certain. The change you brought shapes what now awaits you. And of course, get ready for epic boss fights. We hope you enjoyed the first look at Stray Blade, which will be out next year. And keep an eye on our social media channels for more information.
Cool. Xbox Series X and S.
Next up, one of the most unique games finally comes to Xbox.
Crusader Kings.
Unique.
I've only
As in
seen
my evil
a
twin
little bit of
murdered four
gameplay,
my
I think, from
husbands
this one.
because they secretly are in love with me. Unique.
In case that didn't tip you off, we're talking about Crusader Kings 3, the medieval grand strategy and role-playing game that has you trying to defend your royal line from those that would conquer your kingdom, and evil twins apparently.
Yeah. It's coming to Xbox as an adaptation, not a direct port, meaning that the UI and controls have been refined to bring
Nice.
that grand strategy experience to a controller.
Not to mention bringing the grand strategy experience to my comfy living room couch.
We'll all be ruling from our throne room soon enough. Check out Crusader Kings 3, now coming to Xbox consoles.
Paradox.
My son, we must never forget the crimes committed against us. Your father sought his glorious revenge and failed. He never understood that the greatest wars are won with weddings, not warriors. With daggers, not swords. Only the small-minded measure success across the span of a single life. The real game is played across generations.
Man, oh, dude, how big is that going to be? Oh, that map.
It's making me think about Total War, which is a very complimentary thought.
Crusader Kings 3. Looks like it could be complicated.
Yeah, that RTSs on a controller, they've done well before, but there's also some issues
Crusader
that come up
Kings
with it,
3
like
is
Halo Wars,
wild.
for example.
You really haven't lived
A little
until
sloppy,
you've made
not
an 8-year-old the king of England.
intuitive.
Well, it's nice to have hobbies. We've all gotten into some weird stuff this past year.
Weird, like diving into people's brains and exploring their mental universes projected into a
Psychonauts
psychedelic
2.
60s wonderland kind of weird?
Exactly that kind of weird, which means I am so excited for Psychonauts to finally get a sequel.
I am so excited for this Psychonauts
There really is
2 to
something
drop.
special about Psychonauts, isn't
Especially after watching a
Really
review, just
is
seeing the
indeed.
gameplay
Now,
of
think
it.
about
Like,
this.
yeah.
2005, when Psychonauts originally came out, was
It's
a different
cool.
time
It
for
was-
gaming.
it was fun,
Most of
man.
the biggest games that year, we're talking Resident Evil 4, Battlefield 2, Call of Duty
2005,
2.
so 16
These were
years
great
later.
games, for sure. But they were all big, beefy shooter games.
Meanwhile, Psychonauts had humor, whimsy, and surprisingly heartfelt moments. It was an oasis of color and humanity in an era when games were increasingly turning grimy, dark, and combative.
Not to mention having some
Yeah, that's a
deceptively
good
deep
point to make.
character moments.
Everything went brown and gray
That's
for
why the original is
Oh, man.
a good decade there.
For so
it
long.
has been a long time coming, and it is finally here. Enjoy this long-awaited launch trailer for Psychonauts.
Well,
Launch trailer hours before launch. All right.
Yep. Dude, Steve loved it. Just loved it. He thought it was so cool.
Yeah.
It's just such a unique game. I said it was one of the most creative games I've ever played. Look, right into her head, like right into her forehead, dude. Dive right in. Just like, what am I playing here? Oh man.
I had a lot of those moments in Observer. I hope it,
yeah,
the same idea does well in this.
did you forget everything I taught you about levitation, Rasputin?
I'm not supposed to check out equipment.
They set it up well too, so if you didn't play the first one, it's not a big deal.
You did what? Can't we just... No.
Quit picking on the new kid. We were all new once, in case you forgot.
I've got eyes on the target. And I've got eyes on me.
There's always a bigger fish.
Oh boy.
It wouldn't be the first.
Such a twisted game, man. Honestly.
Power.
I think that's another thing I appreciate now is the non, like, hominid creatures. Things with not just 2 arms, 2 legs that look like us fighting.
Well, it's clear I could not be more excited for Psychonauts 2 because I gotta be honest, me and that original game, we got some beef that needs settling. If you know, you know. The meat circus level, it is infamous, it is brutal, it is difficult to say the least. It's the final
what?
level of the original game that came out, and I cannot believe I'm doing the math on this one. 16 years ago, Tim Schafer and Lizette Teatree Montgomery. I am definitely dating myself, but you all welcome from Double Fine Productions. Thank you so much for being
I was 13
here.
years
Can you
old.
believe it has been 16 years. I almost said 19 years.
Yeah, it feels like only yesterday, but it kind of was for Raz because the story picks up right where the first game left off. And even though it has been a lot of years, it's a game that matters a lot to us. We really love it here at Double Fine, and we know that a lot of fans, it meant a lot to them. And so we really want to be true to the spirit of the first game, which we were able to do because we brought back a lot of the same voice actors, and we also have a lot of people on the team here that worked on the first game, as well as bringing on a bunch of new people like Lisette.
Thank you. It was really important for us to carry the legacy forward, especially the cool style.
I want
of
Grim
Wonk
Fandango
that was
too.
Very prevalent in the first game.
Style of Wonk. Just put it on a
Dude,
shirt. I'm in
that's
there
what
for
I
it.
want. Bring me that one
Let's
now.
roll it back
That's next.
a bit. Of course, this can be a kind of a trippy idea if you're not familiar. Psychonauts, they still jump into people's minds, I'm assuming, like the first game, right? So if a Psychonaut sort of dove into my brain, it would be like a lot of Ted Lasso quotes and French Bulldog memes. Am I correct, Tim?
Yeah, that's what's fun about a Psychonauts game is that all the levels are different, just like every person is different, based on their personality. If you could jump into someone's mind, what would it look like in there? What would be the color of the sky, and like who would the monsters be? And in Psychonauts, you get to do that because Raz has the power of astral projection. And when he goes in, he gets to fight those monsters and help people deal with their nightmares and wrestle with their inner demons. And so there's a ton of variety, and there's a lot of anything goes. We can go to any location, we can have any art style, and coming up with new levels for the second game was really fun to do.
Well, I loved it from the first game, certainly. Lizette, let's talk a little bit about how that kind of concept expresses itself in the game world. I mean, Psychonauts 2 has got it all over the place, I'm sure.
Yeah, it was really important for us to carry forward the unique brain worlds and unique levels from the first game and the unique style as well. So we were really focused on how we could bring forward that style in Wonk and also bring in new levels and enemies.
Now, of course, it wouldn't be Psychonauts without new mental demons, and I'm sure it's happening in Psychonauts 2. What does this mean? Does it mean basically is that we're finally able to slap COVID anxiety in the face?
Well, I don't know if you get to slap anxiety in your face, but you definitely get to slap some panic attacks, and COVID definitely caused a lot of those. In addition to panic attacks, some of our old enemies have also come back. Our sensors are our favorites, and they're definitely here. And in addition to that, we also have our doubts.
Dude, it's so cool how they play with your mind in this game.
Also, some regrets. Some flying
like those
regrets.
are the enemies, dude. Regret is an enemy. Doubt is it like it's just
our doubts are
what
a
the?
slow, sticky melee enemy. You're also seeing
cool.
our enabler here. He is our. It energizes our whole combat troop. So we have a whole cast that you can battle and fight with.
Including the new Bad Mood.
Including the Bad Mood.
Which is...
It's an electric storm of feelings that you have to fight.
Now, for those who haven't played the original, available now on Xbox Game Pass, by the way, wink. Tim, why is Raz so good at rummaging through brains?
Raz is, he has some very special skills. He has two whole sets of skills, one being the acrobatic skills he learned growing up in the circus. He can balance on tightropes, jump on trampolines, swing on trapezes, and that helps him navigate and get around to all kinds of interesting places. But he also has this other side to his personality, which is that he's a powerful psychic. So he can levitate objects, he can use telekinesis and pyrokinesis. He has these powers, which people might recognize from the first game, as well as 3 new powers for the second game. He has the ability to mentally connect thoughts together, and he can connect 2 thoughts and actually connect 2 thoughts together to solve puzzles and to navigate in this game. He has the power of time bubble, which is just change and slow down how things are moving by changing people's perception of time. And he also has the power of projection, which allows him to pull an archetype, a personality, out of his unconscious mind and bring it into the world that he's in, like a companion in battle or in puzzle solving.
But let's talk about the story for a second, because as the original Psychonauts, we saw Raz training to be part of an organization, and now perhaps he's part of a whole organization at this point. And are there other brain agents, other Psychonauts out there that maybe grew up in a completely different circus?
Yeah, we have a lot of new characters in this game.
We do. We have a lot of new characters in this game. As soon as Raz arrives on the headquarters, he immediately gets introduced to the interns. And the interns quickly tell him and show him how he fits into the organization.
The bottom.
They're right down at the bottom.
And so earn his way back to the top again. He's no longer the coolest kid in summer camp. And much to his chagrin, his entire family, his entire embarrassing circus clothes wearing family comes to visit him in front of all his new friends. And so the interns find out that he's the awkward middle child of a circus family. Each one of them has their own quirks and foibles, and some of them are even psychic. And so a lot of their story gets told in this game, including their backstory and how it relates to the foundation of the Psychonauts themselves.
Well, I like that. And of course, as you might know already, I'm sold. But you, of course, already knew that. When can myself and the rest of the world exact some beefy, meaty revenge?
You can get back to the beef and play Psychonauts 2 on August 25th on Xbox Game Pass and PC.
There it is. Lizette, Tim from Double Fine, thank you so
for
much. And you know what?
us
Extend a huge
in
congratulations
Eastern
to everyone
Standard,
at Double Fine.
I think it's like 6 p.m.,
Thank you so much.
maybe
We're very
8
excited.
p.m.
Thank you.
I think it's
You
dilated
can
to
catch
be
more of Tim Schafer
on
and
time
ask
with
him those burning questions
midnight
about the newest
somewhere.
game in the fan favorite franchise in our Xbox Play stream tomorrow. But first, we're going from cleaning out mental cobwebs to cleaning up alien planets in this supremely satisfying 4K 60 trailer for the gunk.
The creators of SteamWorld. Really? I had no idea.
I don't like this weather.
I'm not familiar with SteamWorld.
SteamWorld, Dig, all that. It was a quirky little game. It was cool.
The gunk's eating everything here.
It's Xbox's version of Super Mario Sunshine. That game's come up a lot in my thoughts.
I know it has. I think you're missing that game, man, everybody.
Sunshine 2? It's been long enough.
This looks cool.
Yeah, I like this crazy world.
Yeah, big time. Game Pass, dude. No date, though.
Not even a year.
We have talked about so many incredible games today, and it's hard to pick a favorite, but let me just say, it is so cool that State of Decay 2 is expanding Trumbull Valley. Come on. And hey, you know what? Great job on that Flight Sim interview.
Oh, thank you. I mean, talking to Jorg is always a blast, and Flight Sim is such a special game to me because, I mean, it's literally letting me travel the world. But I was staring daggers of jealousy watching you talk to Tim and Lizette over at Double Fine.
Well, I will say this, I understand, but you got to play Psychonauts 2 already, so I don't even want to hear it.
That's true, but it's not the same as talking to the creators. Just trust me when I tell you, be excited for Psychonauts 2.
I will say this as well, I am excited to see even more of Psychonauts 2 on our Xbox Plays streams.
Yes, don't forget, Xbox Plays will recap all the week's news throughout the week at twitch.tv/Xbox, so make sure to check that out. Before Kate and I let Playground Games take the wheel, let me just say that it has been our distinct pleasure to chat games and nerd out with everyone today.
Oh, it's hands down the best part of the job, for sure.
But we're far from done here.
Too true. Now, in June, Playground Games announced that Forza Horizon 5, the highly anticipated follow-up to 2018's breakout hit open-world driving game Forza Horizon 4, arrives on November 9th on Xbox consoles, Xbox Game Pass for console, PC, and cloud, and of course, Steam.
And if you're watching our Xbox YouTube channel,
Steam too, right? Did you catch that?
Xbox Twitch channel to see all this new exclusive content.
Everybody's starting to mingle with Steam.
And that is twitch.tv/Xbox for the full vroom vroom experience. And if you're already watching on Twitch or one of the Forza channels, stay right where you are.
Without further ado, let's dive in, starting with the new custom Forza Horizon 5 controller, which is available for pre-order today, so players can have it in hand by November 9th when the standard edition of the game launches.
I still have the Ferrari racing wheel. I haven't used that in a long time.
Nice. Time to break it out.
Yeah.
All right, let's see the game. Let's get into it. This is what I want to see.
Charlie here, and I'm at Playground Games with Forza Horizon creative director Mike Brown and Forza Horizon art director Don Arcetta. Hello, everybody.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Charlie.
Hey, Charlie. Hello.
How cool is this?
That is stunning. Look at that. Well, we obviously just saw a really cool video about it, and I'll be the first to say there is an amazing influence of Mexican car culture and music literally splayed right across the front. Isn't that right?
Absolutely. It just feels like it's a part of the Horizon Festival, like it's just dropped out of the game into your lap.
Absolutely.
Absolutely love it.
And there's so much we do want to show the fans, and it's been quite difficult to decide where to start. So can you maybe tell us a bit more about the game, Mike?
Sure, yeah. So Forza Horizon 5 is bringing the Horizon Festival's unique brand of fun and freedom to beautiful and vibrant Mexico. Players are going to set out across the largest, most diverse open world we've ever built in hundreds of the world's most beautiful and exciting cars.
Yeah, and people think that Mexico is just a desert or a beach, but there's so much more to it, isn't there?
That's right. Even though it does have pretty awesome beaches and a number of amazing deserts, it also has vast canyons, hidden temples, awesome, beautiful historic cities, and even a towering snow-capped volcano, the highest point we've ever had in a Horizon game.
So you've talked about how Forza Horizon 5 showcases powerful, all-new graphical features, but what more can you tell us about that?
So yeah, our Mexican HDR sky captures really illuminate the world to the point where you feel like you're really there. And thanks to the Xbox Series X and S, ray tracing is utilized in Forza Vista to really make our cars look more true to real life.
It looks so
you'll
good.
Encounter the smallest of details as you travel throughout the world, all rendered in striking realism.
Oh, that's such an exciting overview. I cannot wait.
How do they go beyond this, though? You know, I'm sure everybody says that every 10 years. How's it going to look better than that?
That's right. We are about to.
But really, we're getting into a scenario where
featuring the
it's going to be like Gamer, the movie.
AMG 1 and the 2021 Ford Bronco Badlands. Should we take a look?
Let's do it, yeah.
Okay, there we go. I was going to say, that's not a Bronco that I've ever seen.
That's the newest one. That is the newest one. It's compete with the Jeep.
Oh yeah, no, I was thinking whatever that.
Oh, that is no.
Like that's a Ferrari or something. The only Bronco I've ever seen driving is the O.J. Simpson chase.
Oh, ouch.
Now, those are two very different ways to explore Mexico. So what I want to know is why those two cars were chosen and what players can expect when they get behind the wheel.
Yeah, so those differences are exactly why we chose them. The Mercedes-AMG 1 marks the first time a car features Formula One hybrid technology almost one-to-one from
I'm not a car guy.
Me
and
either.
With the 2021 Ford Bronco.
That's why I like Horizon, because it's got that arcade experience and not the motorsport series, right? Where you got to be in there fine-tuning it all.
I'm certain people can't wait to see what these cars can do in the game, so I don't think we should keep them waiting any longer. Mike, can you tell us about what we're about to see next?
Yes, so in a few moments' time, we'll be kicking off a Forza Horizon 5 Let's Go stream, and everybody should check that out for a big deep dive into loads of new content and features from Forza Horizon 5. But before that, we have 8 minutes of brand new gameplay where we're going to see both the Mercedes AMG 1 and the 2021 Ford Bronco Badlands. And in typical Horizon fashion, we are going to see active volcanoes, cars jumping out of cargo planes, and a race under beautiful Mexican skies all the way to the Horizon Festival. Should we check it out?
I think we should.
There's nobody in the vehicle. The vehicle just starts driving on its own. It's all remote control. It's just a little mini game.
It's a crossover with cars.
Eyeballs come out of the form of a car, and away it goes.
I remember when I first saw that this was real, like the idea of parachuting a vehicle into somewhere.
Yeah.
Blew my mind. Of course, it's not like this. It's a U.S. military deployment every time, but
We'll
still.
take control of the 2021 Ford Bronco Badlands atop of the towering, snow-capped Gran Caldera volcano.
See you on the other side!
Okay, but go off the edge just once. I want to see the destruction and the scope of view.
Follow that car! Past me!
Oh, there it is!
You asked for it. There you go. Oh, man.
All right, now can you really just drive off into the horizon? They've already traversed like 10 kilometers.
ahead. Watch out for that.
Oh, what is this? Dom jumps out of the back of the plane.
Tom Cruise is hanging from the side of it.
Drop zone approaching. Lovely day for a drive.
These cars are strong, but nothing stronger than family.
2020 Corvette Stingray tearing up the asphalt towards a dust storm in the Mexican farmland.
Outtrack the storm. Sigue, keep going.
The airplane has entered the race. That'd be a crossover. Forza and Flight Simulator.
Oh yeah.
We've got to go through it.
Can't drive through that. Like that would just be. There would be no point.
It would pick you up. Start spinning around.
Or you just hit the very first object in front of you.
It's a wall.
Yeah. Without a
Race
millisecond's notice.
Yeah. Next car.
Okay, on my mark. 5, 4. 4 now, that's fine.
Oh man.
This could get a little rough.
Yeah. Who's the drop master that okayed that one?
Yeah. Dude, this is where I want to be driving.
Next up is the Porsche 911 Desert Flyer, crashing through the dense jungle tree canopy.
Flamingos!
Dude.
All right, how many polygons do you think are on screen?
There's a ton. That's for sure. What if you had to hit the jump and go back in the plane after it's all done?
That'd be cool.
Their playground can have that idea. That one's on me.
You're not gonna believe your eyes when you see this. Keep going.
Next plane drop. Here it comes.
This is the final drop. The whole festival is waiting.
Let's say California. Ah, California. That's not Mexico. How big is this game? Oh. Now that'd be a rough start.
Oh,
Go
wouldn't
from reverse to forward at 500 kilometers an hour.
Stunning Mercedes AMG 1 at full speed across Mexico's sun-baked rocky coast.
Horizon, this is
You're like blowing by all of the scenery, man. It's just like coming at you so fast.
Oh yeah. that's I think Formula One speeds. That's insane.
I know they do the festival kind of thing every season for when it comes out for Horizon, but they need to have something like with a heavier story component. I'd like a spin-off of the Horizon model with a heavy, deep story of some sort, right? An up-and-coming street racer or something, just something different.
Yeah, that's kind of a need for speed thing, I think, for especially Street Racer, but it doesn't have to be that way.
No, for sure.
Is he gonna get back onto the airplane?
Dude,
did you call this?
No way, did I? No, that would have been so cool. He blew past the plane.
Have we seen this
he
already?
beat the plane. Oh man. Dude, that's it.
Oh man.
What do you, overall thoughts?
Well, that was intense. It's hard to shake Forza out of my head now.
Yeah, that's cool.
Wasteland 3 DLC looks really cool though.
Absolutely, dude.
Dying Light 2 is absolutely a standout, I think. They didn't even have to show it at this presentation. That would have been a standout for me anyways.
Sure. Dude, the gunk. I like the gunk. I think the gunk looks cool.
That could be really cool.
They had a ton of stuff coming for like the indie side of things too. Stray Blade looked cool.
Out of planes anytime soon.
Like
but I'm going to need a minute to process all the amazing gameplay we just watched.
It was definitely cool. That's going to wrap up today's thing. Scott, there's one thing that didn't get announced.
For those of you who just turned up, we have just wrapped.
And that was the Halo release date, dude.
Yeah.
They didn't release it, man. They didn't even showcase any Halo content.
Are they just gonna wait until December 20th and just hey, it's out, guys?
There it is. Go get it. Maybe. I don't know. But either way, dude, that's gonna wrap up for today. That's it's been a full day already, but we'll be back tomorrow. Yeah. ITG Daily. Well, we're gonna give our final thoughts and recap on today's event. See everybody tomorrow.